Hi, Analisa Six here with the Sober Curator and the Lady of Leisure to bring you the Taurus horoscope for the month of August in the year of 2023. I am going to try to make these videos a little bit shorter because I have some health stuff going on that makes doing these very draining for me. And I just got my diagnosis finally after 3 years of waiting to kind of figure out what the hell's going on. And it was very validating in the sense that I need to exert less energy. So I'm going to try to talk less and just make this very straightforward and to the point, Taurus. All right. So it's August 8th today that I'm recording this video. So we're already very much in August. And August started out with a full moon. We had a full moon in Aquarius at 9 degrees, I believe. Yep, 9 degrees of Aquarius on August 1st. The area that hit for the Taurus horoscope had to do with the career house. So the area where your career is highlighted, but also not just your career, but how you operate out in the world. So kind of like your public persona and the way that you're putting yourself out there. And full moons are a time of manifesting as well as letting go and releasing. And so if you're career or your persona or who you are to other people in regards to the way that you're kind of public in your job or public in the world. I feel like not everybody is public in their job, obviously, but there's a certain way that we put ourselves forth in the world, and that's highlighted by the 10th house. And so if those things have been coming up into the ether for you or did around the full moon on the 1st, where you were thinking a lot and reflecting a lot about your career, who you are in your career, who you are to other people in your career, or the work that you're doing out in the world, that was a big theme for you starting off August. And again, a great time to kind of call in the things that you want more of in your life around those themes, or releasing, shedding, getting rid of the things that you don't want in your life around those themes. Aquarius also is a fixed sign. It's fixed air. And so it makes a square to Taurus. And we're in Leo season, which is fixed fire, which also makes a square to Taurus. So the square energy creates a little bit of tension around your identity, around who you are right now to yourself and to others. And so if you've been feeling some of that tension, or kind of like this, who am I? How do I do things that are more in alignment with who I am? That might be kind of a theme during Leo season. We started off the month with Mercury and Mars, both in Virgo. And Mercury is going to be in Virgo for the entire month of August because it stations retrograde on the 23rd, which is also the day that the sun enters Virgo. And Earth energy is really positive for Taurus. Earth likes Earth. So Earth, mutable Virgo, Earth trines Taurus, which is an easy, harmonious aspect. And so that Earth energy might be helping you out a lot when it comes to being more productive. Virgo, Mars in Virgo and Mercury in Virgo, the analytical mind and the organizational mind is enhanced. So we're able to kind of see things from a broader perspective, have more of a problem solving and, resolution based kind of approach to things. And it's really good for kind of getting ducks in a row or creating systems in life that help promote structure and kind of this ability to accomplish things maybe in a more, like, I don't want to say linear, because mutable energy is not really linear always, but Virgo is more linear than the other mutable signs in the sense that it's more practical and more system oriented. So it's kind of like, okay, here's how I need to get this done. And the area of the chart that it's hitting for Taurus has to actually do with our self-expression and our creativity. So the beginning of August definitely has a lot of energy around how you're expressing yourself and, the way you think about those things. It's a really positive time for you to lean into what makes you feel joy, your creative sense of self, what makes you passionate about life. Those types of things are a big theme here for the month of August. When it stations retrograde on the 23rd, those things might come up for review. So you might be kind of thinking to yourself, maybe I want to change some of the ways that I express myself. Maybe I need to change some of the things that I'm doing in my life to cultivate more joy, or feel like I'm really taking charge of my life in a way that expands my ability to get things done that I need to get done while not also hindering kind of the areas of my life where I need to be more expansive and experience more joy. I hope that makes sense. I'm getting kind of distracted right now because there's some stuff going on my computer. I'm sorry. This month is really hard on me. I'm having a hard August so far. It's my birthday month and it's just kind of sucking so far. So these horoscopes I'm just like powering through, and I apologize in advance. I'm trying. Leo energy is highlighting the area of the Taurus chart that has to do with home and family. And so if you feel like there's kind of this emphasis to want to retreat and spend a lot of time at home or work through healing ancestral trauma or connecting with family members, that's highlighted for Leo season. And Venus is retrograde for the entire month of August in this area as well. So one of the things that happens when Venus is passing through this area is that we might feel really inclined to do home projects or redecorate our home or redecorate our space or beautify it in some way. When it's retrograde, we need to be really mindful with how we're going about that, because we could easily think something is a good idea and then realize really quickly, oh, maybe that's not a good idea. Maybe a DIY project is not great right now. But I think that it's still positive to kind of, put the vision together. So if you're thinking, like, for example, I'm going to use my mom, who's not a Taurus, but I'm just going to use her as an example. She has a room in her house that she's turning into a walk-in closet, and she is having 3 different companies come check out the space to get quotes on. And there's all these different things about the way that the walk-in closet can be built. There's one company that can build it in a way where she doesn't have to paint the walls or change the carpet or the flooring at all. They can just put it in. And she can essentially, if she wants to paint or change the flooring later, can still do that without having to remove the closets. That's one company. Then there's the second company that she interviewed where they're basically saying that if she wants to change the flooring or paint anything, she needs to do it before they come in and put the closets in, because she won't be able to do it once the closets are in. So she's kind of weighing out those options of like, oh, well, I might want to change the flooring and paint later. So maybe I need the closets where I have the freedom to do that even after they're put in, because I don't want to do it right now. And so those are just some of the things like that feel very Venus retrograde in the 4th house to me, where you're kind of like, I have this home project and there's all these different ways that I could do it. And I need to sit and think and problem solve, which is very Mercury and Mars and Virgo, on what the best road is. When things are retrograde, we're really not supposed to take action with it. We're just supposed to be in that mode of planning and kind of trying to figure it out. So if you're feeling inclined towards that, I mean, if they're little projects, like if you're just painting something like a chair or a wall, I'm sure you'll be fine. But when it comes to like full renovations or, big things, it's usually more expensive than you were expecting, or there's usually more that needs to get done than you were planning on when Mercury and Venus are retrograde in these areas. So those are things to just kind of be mindful of. I'm going to keep this pretty short just to keep myself able to move through all of these signs today. So we're just going to dive right into the moons that are happening. So we have a new moon happening in Leo on August 16th, and that's going to be at 23 degrees of Leo. And again, this is hitting the area of the chart of the horoscope chart for Taurus that has to do with home and family. So new moons are a great time to set intentions. Leo energy is all about creativity and self-expression. And of course, having Venus here, if there's things that we want to set intentions towards for our home or our relationship with our family, that's another thing with Venus here in the family. Our relationship with family comes up. Venus also has to do with relationships. So if you're going through something with a family member where you're really having to work on the relationship with that family member, that's something that's highlighted during this Venus retrograde, and it can be turbulent when it's retrograde. And so the new moon's a good opportunity for you to set intentions around cultivating more healing with that family member. And this new moon's also a good time to set intentions around Leo themes. So self-confidence, self-expression, creativity, those types of things. Then this is a special month in the sense that we have 3 moons. So we've got 2 full moons and 1 new moon, and the full moon is happening in Pisces at 7 degrees on August 30th. The area of the chart that's hitting for the Taurus horoscope is the area that has to do with groups that we're associated with, our community, and then also friends. And so full moons are a time of manifesting and releasing. And so we might be in reflection on our community, who we are associating ourselves with, whether or not they're promoting a sense of safety or growth, or whether or not we feel in alignment with this group of people. It's also a really positive time if you are into any kind of fun spiritual modalities like sound baths or restorative kind of things like mineral pools, things like that. This is a really positive time for you to do that or give that to yourself. This is a really creative time too. So if you're an artist or a musician or somebody that your cup gets filled a lot by seeing music or playing music or writing music, the end of the month is a really positive time for you to lean into those things and potentially share it or do it with your community. That's definitely promoted during the month of August. That is all I'm going to get into. I'm going to keep this short. I hope that you have a great August. It's a turbulent month. If you want to know more about this month from an astrological perspective, watch the astrology forecast video that's at the beginning of this playlist, where I go into each individual transit. Good luck, Taurus. I hope you have a great month.